What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stochastic here on the Odd Chopper channel, coming to you with another edition. Hopefully these leans, likes, and likes. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become apprised whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. It is too cold in my studio right now to use my hands for any of those gestures. But you know what? I am going to use my hands just to applaud producer Alicia back in our good graces here. Well, she was always in our good graces, but now she's back in our presence. It's so good to have her here. Producer Jacob is a lovely human being. He is at the NBA games tonight. I'm just such a great boss. That's what it is. Yeah, I'm going to call him. I'm his boss now. That's what it is. I said he could go. And so then, well, I got my favorite person back. Producer Alicia, great to have her. Give the North Carolina, come on and raise up. Take your shirt off. Twist it right. Anyway, that's how I felt after the first game. And then Trey Murphy played all of 10 minutes in the second game. And also there was like a prize fix thing with Bruce Brown where, I mean, he like turned his ankle, got pulled out a little early in the first quarter, then came back and just never looked right until the fourth quarter, started playing well, just in time not to beat his fantasy score. But anyway, if you guys want to go follow me over on TikTok now, Lindy's Locks, super easy to find. I'm going to be posting pick'em content. I'm going to be posting Lindy's Locks update. A lot of people had been asking for that to come back here. Well, we're going to start firing it up over in the TikTok streets, probably posted over on the X streets as well. So go follow me there at Eric Lindquist. So many places to find me, so little time. But we've got 13 games, so not a lot of time to dilly-dally. We'll talk about BetMGM, Odd Chopper, all the great things in all the land, but specifically the best plays of the day. Producer Alicia, one more time for the giver. Let's go. Let's get to the picks. We begin our boarding walk not talking about Dennis Schroeder, Toronto minus 4.5 at Charlotte here. I think some of you forget the premise of the show from time to time. I tell you when a lean is something that's probably going to turn into a bet or when I'm waiting on something, and I try to give you every indication that I possibly can because the price matters so much at the end of the day. And some matchups, it's just so hard to get to Dennis Schroeder 21.5 when it doesn't change. Now, I'm saying that full well knowing that I locked a guy that is in a much more difficult matchup this time around in terms of just putting the ball in the basket and all of those things. But anyway, Dennis Schroeder will not be spoken of. Don't you worry. It's all going to be all right. But Toronto and Charlotte here in this spot. You got some dinged up Charlotte Hornets. Most specifically, LaMelo Ball continues to be out. But Mark Williams, he's questionable as well. If he sits, Nick Richards ended up playing a lot of minutes, well, decent enough minutes, and had a pretty good outing there last time around when I come around, going up against the Chicago Bulls. Now I want to listen to Green Day, and I don't want to do this show. I didn't want to do the show anyway today. I'm going to be honest. I'm tired. But then producer Alicia was going to be here, and I like betting, so these are all things that were going to happen. So I'm just looking at this game as a big fat pass. There we go. Under 223.5, just a lean. But like it's Charlotte, they're going to pace this thing up a little bit. It's all about that pace, no treble. But it's Toronto. Under 223.5, don't play anything here. Maniacal laugh. If you've seen the Muppets movie, you know what I'm talking about, but it's beautiful stuff. The Detroit Pistons 12-point dogs heading into Orlando. Not on my bingo card of things that I thought would happen in the year of our Lord 2023, where Detroit entered Orlando as bigger than double digit. We're talking 12-point dogs. That's wild. But Jalen Duren's going to be out. He turned his ankle, but you know what? He cares about our money. He ended up getting that double-double across the line there for us in the premium Discord. Y'all know. Things were good, and I get it. I had like, what, 2 games on the card last time around? Well, I mean, New Orleans is getting smoked right now at the half, or was getting smoked. Yeah, they are 67-54 at the half here. So that was a half unit one there. Maybe Trey Murphy can bring it back, but Giannis Antetokounmpo covered like with ease there today. And then we got 2 turnovers from Buddy Hield. So those cash, I understand that I'm better at player props. I don't know how many times I can say over the course of 3 years of doing this video that I'm better at player props. My ROI is way higher on player props. It's really hard to beat markets when you're talking about a 12-point double digit. I've literally said this over and over and over again. It is so rare that I end up going out and locking things. It's generally because of injury news that are going. It's rare that I go out locking totals, spreads, or money lines, mainly because it generally revolves around a piece of injury news waiting in the wings or something that I think is just a blatant misprice. Because where do these lines come from? That's a conversation for a different day. So where do babies come from? It's not the stork. It's not the magical cloud in the sky. It's from somebody's uterus. No, we can't say that here on this program. Here we are. It's just lock season, friends. I don't know what else you want me to say. I get that this is a much more difficult matchup. I get that he's only got 2 games under his belt here this season. But you're not... I mean, how much fun was that to watch against Memphis? 32 minutes, 8 for 15 from the field, 22 points. He's now put up 22, and then 22. And this number's 19.5. But Cleveland and then Memphis. We're not walking to Memphis. We're Orlando. SeaWorld and Disney and putt-putt golfing. Book of Mormon, I had to bring that out at some point in time. I really hope our social team does not share this with anybody. You knew what I was getting at the entire time. Bojan Bogdanovic, you knew I was going to lock him here. 20-plus points, the exact same fucking play. Let's go to the bank. Let's make money with our guy. He's going to make it over. He's going to knock it in Franz Wagner's face and Mo Wagner's face and everybody's face, and they're probably going to lose by 15. So there you go. Detroit, just Bogdanovic, get there for us, please. Cool. 19.5 being his player prop here. We've now bet it from 16.5 to 19.5. It's so great to be back. The Atlanta Hawks taking on the Philadelphia 76ers, and there's not a lot to say about this game. You've got Atlanta on one side of the ball where, yeah, you got Trae Young questionable with an illness. I think he's more likely to play. Obviously, we had a Thursday. Everybody was able to kick rocks and do whatever. They had Monday and Tuesday off. This is the weirdest NBA schedule I can remember for December. Generally, you just have back-to-back AAU national champions. It's Tom Amansky baseball. I'm out of my mind today. Just out of my mind. Get out of your mind. Yeah, there's nothing to do here. Tobias Harris is the only guy that's actually projecting out as a like, but you know what? I'm not somebody who holds a grudge. I'm not somebody who gets upset very often. But I'm looking at my sheet, and the last time I bet Tobias Harris lock, the number ended up being 15.5 going into New Orleans. Joel Embiid got ruled out. It closed at 21.5. I had 6 points of closing line value, and he didn't get there. Tobias Harris over 15.5 points. Fuck that guy, though. All right, 2 F-bombs right off the bat, Eric. In control. That's also from the Muppets movie. Chuck blasting the drums. This is not a good show so far. Washington plus 9.5 at Brooklyn. I will start bringing my A game here, just like I had this week. It's been much better than last week. Last week was pitiful, sad. This week has been not pitiful, not sad. And it's the holidays. Happy holidays to you and yours. I know a lot of my friends starting to partake in the holiday festivities. Please be safe. Please love one another. All of those things. I don't love Washington. They're a terrible, awful, no good, very bad basketball team. And why would we want to discuss them? Although, Jordan Poole, hey, thanks for the fantasy score over on the Prize Picks the other day. Again, Lindy's Pick'em Locks. Going to be good stuff over on TikTok. Yeah, Lindy's Locks. Super easy to find. It's a great TikTok handle. I can't believe I'm on TikTok. I'm not 100, but I'm older than a TikTok average user, if I had to guess. But Jordan Poole's worse than your average basketball player, and I still can't believe that he's like in the NBA doing things on a daily basis, but like he can still find you a bucket. And I think Washington's just ruining the day that they picked up the phone with Golden State. Or with anybody, because they can't do any trade correct and can't get anybody. The Kyle Kuzma thing worked out. But 10-10 against the spread. Brooklyn 15-4-1. They're starting to be properly valued more and more and more here in the marketplace. And I think that just, well, this is a little bit of an overcorrection. Plus 9.5. It's going to lean. This game sucks. Please don't bet it. Let's bet the next one. It's not that I don't like when... You know, it's just 2 bad teams. I can bet 2 bad teams if there's certain things that make sense. I prefer two good teams, and this is like 1.5 of them. The Knicks, I'll call them a half good team. And then the Boston Celtics, they're confirmed #good. Number one in adjusted net rating over at dunks and threes. Obviously, very good on the defensive end of the floor. They're number one, tied. I mean, it's 109 basically for both them and Minnesota. Both have been elite, beyond elite, beyond elite. Can't even talk today either. But as you're looking at Boston, you know Kristaps Porzingis matters big time, and he has officially been upgraded with this calf injury to questionable. Generally, somebody who's coming off a long injury layoff, a week or so, well, when you get upgraded to questionable, you end up playing in these spots. However, I do think that with Kristaps Porzingis, who's 7'4", and we know he's had an injury history, and we know how important it is for his shooting ability to stretch the floor for this Boston team. I do think that this is one that I'm kind of like, this could really go either way. I lean towards him playing, but even with that news, I would set this line at 6.5. And then if you get Porzingis back, I would have this at 8.5. This is like borderline. Should it be on the card? Should it not be on the card? But 13 games, there's a lot of these spots that I kind of just took not the cowardly approach, but the trepidatious approach, where I didn't want to bet everything early on, want to get some more news, get the lay of the land here when it comes to injury news, and then act accordingly tomorrow morning. That's a great reason to be in the premium Discord and signing up for that. Let's talk about that here next. But in the meantime, you're talking about the best team in the NBA in just about every advanced analytic metric, and they've had the second most difficult strength of schedule thus far. The New York Knicks, they're good in some regards. They play really, really slow. That can generally up the variance, and then obviously 6.5. But that's kind of baked into this. I think Porzingis plays. I think this number should be 2 points higher. And I think you should put a half unit on it. Welcome to my land, friends. -6.5. Decent enough to get on the card here for Friday. I said I would bring it to you, and I did. Friends, it used to be $20 to get in the Discord alone. It used to be $200 for a month of the OddsShopper OS tools. Do you know how ridiculous this is? That you now get both for $5 less than the premium Discord used to be? $5 foot. No, we don't sing Subway songs here. What we do is we bet at OddsShopper. We use the positive EV approach, market-based approach, and if you're in a non-legal betting state, you have the opportunity to utilize the Fantasy Optimizer. It's phenomenal for Prize Picks and Underdog and all these other sites. They're also in legal betting states. I know they're in New York. I know they're in Arizona. Beautiful, beautiful things, gotta say. God, Scottsdale's awesome. But anyway, OddsShopper Premium, friends, expert picks, Discord, premium tools, so many great videos over on the OddsShopper YouTube channel that you're watching right here that you can go and watch. Go watch Greg Ehrenberg break everything down on what you're getting throughout this package. Go watch Eitan Shander break down the Parlay Builder. And hey, you might see me popping up in one of these videos sooner rather than later as well. Want to talk you through the premium Discord. Hop on in. It's been fruitful over the course of the 1.5 years of its existence. Not gonna brag. I'd like to think a lot of that is because of me. Well, it is. I'm fucking awesome. But anyway, the expert picks, Discord, premium tools, so many great things all in one package. And now $15 for the week, $50 for the month, plus 20% off. It says it on your screen. 20% off using promo code Lindy. So use Lindy, sign up. I'll see you there, my friends. And I will be more humble. Humility is a good thing. Sometimes. It's hard to be confident. Back to the picks, producer Alicia. Producer Alicia said she didn't miss me, which hurt my feelings. It was not very nice. That's what I heard her say. Did you not just say that? Okay, I missed you. Where are you? And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. I cannot breathe tonight. Anyway, we got Cleveland taking on Miami here in this spot. And yeah, you knew this total was going to be low. 217.5. What are we even doing here? What is the point of all of this? Now, there's a couple of points props that I have my eye on with these low totals, obviously. You know, it didn't go well. The half unit on Donovan Mitchell shorting him the other day. Just spread that everywhere. Spread the ashes. Fact ticket. It was online, but you know, it's the same thing. We're just talking about like Donovan Mitchell going ballistic in some of these spots. I thought Garland might cut into some of those rates, but you know what happened? Karis LeVert got ruled out, and then I knew I was toast. So these are the things that suck. Sometimes injuries pop up out of nowhere, and then you're left holding the bag, or the opposite. You're not holding the bag. He hasn't played for a week, but yeah, I thought that there was a chance that he was going to come back. He re-aggravated that knee injury. He's not going to be out here for this one on Friday or for the foreseeable future. That's kind of a bummer for them because I do like his game. It's not the Shaq meme. I have to apologize. I'm not familiar with your game. But I am familiar with the game of Max Strus. He's generally a catch-and-shoot guy, but does he have revenge in his heart going into Miami here? Does he have revenge? No, he got paid money. He's very happy with his life. He lives in Cleveland now instead of Miami. Anyway, Max Strus is going to block a bitch for that. That is for sure over 0.5 blocks. He's averaging north of this number, and we're getting plus 170 at BetMGM. Doesn't make sense here. So, yeah, he's going back to South Beach where the players play. I know that's Atlanta, but not funny tonight. Max Strus over at 0.5 blocks. Cringe quest. Let's talk about something I know, and that is that I am happy, oh so happy with my Minnesota Timberwolves this season in Memphis. Boo! Boo! They've been very bad. 9-11 against the spread. That doesn't really begin to personify the troubles with this team. Now, they just beat Detroit. Congratulations on beating a 2-19 basketball team. Good job. Good effort. Memphis up to 6-14, but their adjusted net rating minus 2.8. And offensively, they got 1 million points out of Desmond Bane the other night, but they're still 27th in the league. They played basically no one, 29th most difficult strength of schedule. When there's 30 teams in the NBA and you're 29th, not great, Bob. Not great. So what do we do here? Because 5.5, 6.5, these are kind of trappy lines, if you ask me. Minnesota, they've been tied with Boston just about every individual statistic here, specifically adjusted defensive rating. They're second in total adjusted net rating. I like my Minnesota Timberwolves for the first time in a long time, and they're still without a major piece here. Yeah, they paid Jaden McDaniels because you cannot have enough wings in the year of our Lord 2023. You want as many who can play defense and shoot because come playoff time, that is a huge deal. I'm looking at you, Andrew Wiggins, from 2 years ago. Where'd that guy go? Can we get a search party for that Andrew Wiggins? Actually, no, because I'm actually still upset that he played that well. Did I mention I'm a Minnesota Timberwolves fan? But anyway, Rudy Gobert has been playing unbelievable basketball on the defensive end of the floor. You have Karl Anthony Towns and Naz Reid because they're kind of stretch fives once upon a time. They can play that four alongside Gobert. Hard to have all three on the floor at the same time. Still waiting for that to... It won't happen. I'm not waiting on that to happen. That would be bad. But we've been betting his double-double quite a bit, all the way up north of this minus 150 number. But one thing that I've started to do, and again, it just barely tips over into the positive EV side of things, is I've been betting these Rudy Gobert double-double props in conjunction with the Minnesota money line. We had to sweat it a couple of these spots. It's been a little bit freaky. That San Antonio spot didn't play well in the first half, but easily covered 16-20, 26-12, 15-13, 17-16. Yeah, the number, a lot of this value has been depleted out of it, but at minus 250 in conjunction with the double-double, I think there might be something on the bone there. That's why it's called the lean. I repeat, you need to look at the prices. If you want to know if I fire this up, hit me up anytime you want over at Eric Lindquist over on X. I'll let you know what your boy does. Your boy is not betting a game with absolutely zero injury news here. Golden State, Oklahoma City, we've dabbled in these streets before. It was fun to dabble with the OKC game. You had the Chet Holmgren 3. He knocked it directly in their eye hole. But you know what? Everybody's healthy. Gary Payton II, the only one who's not in. And I love Gary Payton II. He's got the greatest nickname in the NBA. Mitten. The Mitten. His dad was the Glove. He's the Mitten. Aw. Isn't that adorable? His dad was way fucking better. But anyway, Golden State, we're looking at Oklahoma City. On the other side, no injury news waiting to break. What? Why would I bet this? Why would I bet this? Draymond Green's back. I looked at this for 20 minutes. I legitimately stared at this game for 20 minutes. If you want to know why I was late, producer Alicia, I was running sims for Golden State and Oklahoma City because that's what my life has become. I enjoy it, but also I'd enjoy it more if something projected out well here. Nothing projects out well here. Normally that means daddy just picks a side, and Golden State, Oklahoma City, I'll lean the Oklahoma City 3.5 side, but gross. Oh my God, why is there not a points prop here? The Chicago Bulls, the San Antonio Spurs, and there's no revenge in the heart because DeMar DeRozan and Greg Popovich, from what it appears, have a great relationship. It was a very open relationship, not in phrasing, Eric, but it's been a very open-hearted collection, like the Jane Austen Open Hearts collection. That's what it's been. You had DeMar DeRozan in Toronto. Kyle Lowry goes yonder way, and he goes to San Antonio. DeMar does, and then he goes to Chicago. It was a deal, but seemed like they enjoyed their time together. Bet they'll give each other a hug. I bet if people boo him at the free throw line, Greg Popovich will get on the mic, tell them, don't do that anymore. That's what happened with Kawhi. And I still am shocked that it happened. People can't go to a game and boo now? What? Imagine telling somebody in Philadelphia that, Greg Popovich. That's when you know you're in San Antonio. But either way, I am looking at San Antonio on this side of it. Interesting starting lineup change that we saw last time out. Did you catch it? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been struck by, not a smooth criminal, but a smooth Devin Vassell. That didn't work. Jeremy Sohan goes back to the bench. Trey Jones still playing those backup minutes, but Devin Vassell playing point, and Cedi Osman enters the starting rotation. I don't really know the point of that, but it doesn't really matter. Zach LaVine's going to be out for a while here, 3 to 4 weeks, because the Bulls don't want to hurt his trade stock anymore. That's the reason. Let's be dead honest about what things are. I know he got dinged up, and Zach LaVine does have an injury history, and I know this Minnesota guy as well. But they are asking a lot for Zach LaVine, and this is now with an injury. Just keep him sidelined, let him kick it, try to figure out a way to move him eventually. I don't know. Maybe a contender gets desperate for a guy for 6th. Zach LaVine can't play defense, though. Bet he could still dunk. I don't know. Bad knee problems, though. Best dunk contest ever, Zach LaVine. Aaron Gordon. I'm talking in circles because there's not really a lot to mine out of here other than DeMar DeRozan absent Zach LaVine in San Antonio, one of the worst defenses in the NBA. We should have some interest here, shouldn't we? Why is there not a point prop? I had Alicia write DeMar DeRozan to score a lot. But I'm not, my name's DeMar and I crush a lot or something. This is definitely my worst show ever. This is one of the best sports books ever, though. BetMGM, friends, you sign up at the link below. Get yourself access to 2 months of OddsShopper tools and Discord access for free. Yeah, you heard me, for free. In addition to getting up to $1,500 in bonus bets, depending on what state you're in. So, like, if you've got DraftKings, if you've got FanDuel, if you've got Caesars, if you've got Bet365, if you've got ESPN Bet, good for you. These are fantastic things, but you know what happens? Sometimes BetMGM has the best lines available for the plays that I recommend, or other people recommend, or OddsShopper recommends. And you know what? It'd be really great to just take advantage of the free stuff, have a little money at BetMGM, and be able to take advantage of it when those lines show up, huh? Again, it's called OddsShopper for a reason. I want you shopping for the best lines every single day, because anybody who does this for a living, anybody who does this recreationally and is profitable at it, I guarantee you they're shopping for the best lines every single freaking day. So do it. Just do it. Sign up at the link below. Get yourself up to $1,500 in those bonus bets. In addition, you know all the great stuff I talked about OddsShopper in the previous ad read? You didn't skip ahead, right? No. You would never do that. 2 months of OddsShopper tools and Discord access. Come ask me your questions. I will give you answers to the best of my ability every single day. I'll give you everything I got, coach. That's what I got. So if you're 21 and over, if you've got a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. Off to the rest of the picks we go. You know, one of the most ridiculous teams against the spread this season, and it's a closing line thing because I have something written different here because I try to just do it based on like what I'm doing, trying to get to numbers early. I do this show the night before, and then I look at Houston, a team that we've been on quite a bit, 12-5-1 against the spread. Now, the one thing I find fascinating is the over-unders in their games, 6-12-0 shaded to the under there. So 12 of their 18 games have hit the under. They're also 9-1 at home. This game ain't being played at home. It's going into Denver here. Wild to see just a 7.5 point spread. That should tell you the improvement under Ime Udoka. This guy has them playing some ball. And also Jamal Murray, the minutes are starting to ramp up. this is a game that could get a little bit weird, but Alperen Şengün playing tons of minutes at the center position there. Not so good at the old defense. And what's this? Oh, yeah, Nikola frickin' Jokic is on the other side of this one. He's awfully good at basketball. And one of the things I'm upset about, even when you're having a good week, you're going to make mistakes or you're going to miss something. And something I absolutely should have been firing was a plus money Nikola Jokic triple-double in LA on Wednesday, knowing that there were 2 days of rest in the front of it. I have no excuse. Be better, Eric. Be frickin' better. The man's averaging 28.5, 13 and 10. I understand the assist prop is the most important part of this equation. Like, there are going to be days, like, again, he goes against the Suns and Nurkic. Nurkic, for whatever reason, is just rebounding against him, although I don't look at individual matchup. I do look at stylistic play, and Phoenix slows the game down. They have a bunch of good shooters, so, like, there's less rebounds available. Nurkic generally, again, I try not to look at the player versus player. It doesn't do a whole lot of good for you. Plus, like, rosters turn over so much in the NBA that it's like, oh, he's done this the last 10 against Phoenix. I don't really care. Now, the Garden, from time to time, daddy cares, because you go into the Garden, it's basically going to church. And, take me to church. I was worshiping. Whatever. Nikola Jokic to triple-double. It's a like here. Anything with plus money for Jokic, you just bet it right now. You move on. We've gotten the plus 190 ticket across. The fact that I didn't bet it, though, on Wednesday, definitely something that I regret. I apologize, and I'll be better. All right. We've talked about spreads. We've talked about totals. We've talked about injury news. There is no bigger injury news than what we're staring at right here. Kevin Durant is out. Kevin Durant's not playing basketball on Friday. Why is this line 1.5? Let's look at some rosters, shall we? The Sacramento Kings going up against Phoenix here. De'Aaron Fox, Kevin Huerter, Harrison Barnes, Keegan Murray off the injury report, and Domantas Sabonis. You get Malik Monk, Trey Lyles off the bench. Chris Duarte, I don't really care. There are so many pieces on the Sacramento side completely healthy. You have Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal out. I mean, Devin Booker is going to be a one-man show here, but De'Aaron Fox has kind of proven he gets up for these big games and he finds ways to make things constantly competitive. And we've been able to pick on Sacramento pretty efficiently this season. There's some times we've backed them as well, but for the most part, this is the most inefficient line to me on the board. I have this closer to 4.5. Now, some could argue that could be a like. Hey, there's going to be only a 62% expected win percentage, and you're talking about it being a lock. That's 54%. 8% is a gigantic expected ROI when you're talking about betting sides. I don't know what else to do. I'm laying the 1.5. You should lay the 1.5. But in fact, let's get a little bit sneakier there. Money line, just put it in your parlays and smoke it, friends. It's Friday. Kick back. Put your feet up. Sacramento money line. What are we doing here? Phoenix, no Kevin Durant. Plus 1.6 adjusted net rating. That's 11th in the NBA. Sacramento, they've been much worse. We expected a regression, but they faced the third most difficult offensive strength of schedule thus far this season, and now there's no Kevin Durant. I gotta really enjoy this spot. Sacramento money line, come on, let's go. I don't have a whole heck of a lot here at the Los Angeles Clippers taking on the Utah Jazz. One piece of injury news, you are possibly gonna get Lauri Markkanen back. Now, he practiced. I doubt he ends up playing, if I'm gonna be honest here in this spot, and that creates two other questionable tags that matter, Kelly Olynyk, Jordan Clarkson, so be on the lookout for those. And you got a perfectly healthy LA Clippers team now. Daniel Tice played really well last time out, and of course, we got beaten up by the Hook. Like, it could have been an absolute Hook slap. Had like one thing here, one thing there, and one that really would have been nice was getting that last damn rebound for Ivica Zubac. Daniel Tice played himself into some extra minutes, but 27 minutes of him there. You get Utah with true centers there. Omer Yurtseven, somebody who's been starting here. Behind him, you've got Mr. Walker Kessler. It's just splitting center minutes. Trading places. It's a whole thing. It's a song. I mean, Walker Kessler's come off the bench in 6 straight games. I don't know what to believe anymore. This is so weird. Also, these are losing teams in terms of against the spread, so we're not going to do that. Ivica Zubac's just leaning towards his double-double yet again here. I've got him as a decent. it's not going to make the card more than likely. We shall see. Again, maybe we get some better numbers coming into tomorrow. And the last game of the night, Daddy did not miss this one the other night. That is for freaking sure. See, I've toned down the F word a little bit there. Good job, Eric. In control. Dallas -6.5 going up against Portland. And Portland, major tilt from one side of the floor there. Malcolm Brogdon, I had the under of 29.5 PRA on an underdog card for the people and felt good about it. And Malcolm Brogdon ends up getting dinged up, didn't play the second half. First half was completely inefficient, 0 for 3, didn't get involved offensively at all. Finished with 0, 2, and 1. This is a guy who averages 17, 4, and 6. So, F me. See, I held back again. But I'm just saying, I'm looking at this Portland roster. DeAndre Ayton, does he come back? I don't know. You got a questionable Malcolm Brogdon. Jeremy Grant is out with the concussion. I don't think Ayton plays. We shall sit. We shall get news. Scoot Henderson has still not been good. Oh, boy. Might have been wrong about him. Was not wrong about adding Luka Doncic triple-double. We were getting plus 550, plus 450, anything in that range. Saw all the tickets. It was so, so beautiful. Now, wish I didn't tone it down and didn't just fire it like I should have in full bore, but I don't know. One thing in golf is that having a kid, generally bad for your golf game. Apparently being an NBA player who's on the road, generally good for your basketball game. He's happy, he's healthy, he's out there. I'll put up a first half triple-double in your eye hole. Luka Doncic, what are you doing, man? 40, 11, and 10 in just 32 minutes and triple-double in the first half. Holy mother of God, averaging 32, 8.5, 8.5. And you know what? Room for this to grow. You add Kyrie Irving here, probably hurts the assist rate a little bit, but you're getting nice plus money yet again here, even if it's a quarter unit, up to a half unit, something in that range. Get Luka Doncic on your card for Friday. Don't miss out. Again, 2 triple-double plays. They've been the same triple-double plays a lot lately. But the Domantas Sabonis one was pretty sharp the other day. Whatever, we're done. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. So you know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know how terrible I was as a host today. But mainly, hopefully you liked some of my plays. And let me know a couple of your plays too. I'm always in that comment section. I would love somebody to talk me into a play with great rationale, talk about the assist rate, talk about who's on the floor, off the floor, what some of those breakdowns are. Again, 13 games, a lot to break down here, more leans than normal, mainly because I don't want to give you bad information and bad bets. So what I gave you was the best that I had on everything. So much injury news waiting in the wing and sums that I'm not going to be able to predict everything correctly. So it's on you. Hit me up if you have questions on X at Eric Lindquist. Follow me over on the old TikTok machine. Can't believe that's a thing. Lindy's Locks on TikTok. Going to be firing up great videos. Going to do my Lindy's Locks update over there, updating you on all of my top plays. And if anything changes based on the books, because I care about you and I care about my money too, because I need my money. But producer Alicia, let's ride into the sunset. So good to have you back. You are the absolute freaking best and I miss you. Producer Jacob's okay. Whatever. Let's get out of here. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Have a great weekend. Best of luck in the NBA streets on Friday.